There goes me being awkward too. Joining this conversation. Um, Hi, how are you guys? Um, I guess I'm soft launching my merch. um, I got a size way too big, guys. This is how long the sleeve is on me. It actually looks like I'm wearing a snuggie, you know? Like they're called snuggies, right? The blankets that you can wear. I got a size way too big. This is an extra large. Usually for kind of like your typical hoodies, just like a very typical hoodie. If I want that oversized look, I go for an extra large. But this is like one size larger than that. Like this is already designed to be oversized. So I'm probably going to order one again in the future. But if you want your own, merch.JustAnotherFlutist.com. See flute version when? You know, that's a really good idea. that is a very good idea. I was thinking I would maybe do sort of limited edition ones. Limited as in both limited in time and also probably only to members. This is part of my permanent collection. So I have a little permanent collection. You guys might notice that it's definitely a smaller store than what I used to have. And the reason is that I realized that people only really bought hoodies, mugs, and tote bags. And that was it. People didn't really buy anything else. I did have some people try to buy like the stickers, but they were bad. That was with my previous vendors. They were bad. So I was like, you know what? We're just not going to mess with that again. Oh, Mel, thank you. But I hope you guys like this. So there are two designs in my permanent collection. There is just the one row, like basically like the flute fingerings, just horizontally on the chest. And then this is my circular design. I personally, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. One of the reasons why I created this circular design was because from far, far away, it kind of looks like the One Ring. like I just have to include a little bit of Lord of the Rings, you know, like a nod. You know what I mean? Like I need to have that nod. 1 foot joint through the wall. Oh, you guys are the best. Anyway, so yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy with my new vendor, my new platform. So I am working with, I'm on Fourth Wall. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. If you guys make the purchase, you'll realize that you are paying Fourth Wall. You're not paying me. Fourth Wall is paying me. So Fourth Wall is kind of like the in-between. It used to be Spring. And yeah, so I am, this is really good quality. So this has been through the wash, I want to say 5 or 6 times now. So I do wash it on cold and I hang it to dry. I know, okay, it's kind of extra, but it is so worth it. It's like, I was so surprised when I took this out and looked at it and I was like, what the heck? So that behind the scenes footage of me opening up my own merch will go on my membership. So if you just want to go to my store, merch.JustAnotherFlutist.com, you will find it. I will probably post the behind the scenes of me opening this sometime this month. And if you want to catch that, head on over to member.JustAnotherFlutist.com, sign up to be a member. You will see that post even if you're at the lower tier, which is $5 a month. You know, if you can't do the $10 a month, totally fine. The $10 a month is for people who really want to just go full nerd. And I already have one of you who has submitted or that is ordered a masterclass submission. So I do basically like an online masterclass. It's sort of like, I would say it's live on my end where I'm going to live stream it to you guys. But it's done asynchronously. So you guys will send me 2-minute videos for me to review. You don't have to show up on camera, but we do have to hear you. So your audio will still go through. So it'll be a really fun way for me to hear you guys if you want me to. I tried to make it as cheap as I possibly could. That was still reasonable for you and for me. And to do that, I had to kind of like really truncate down how long of a video you guys could send me and how long my response was going to be to you. There's a lot of back end work that has to happen as well, setting up the live stream. You're going to have to fill out a form. There's going to be a whole link to the form and stuff like that once you purchase the submission. And it will take time for me to go through those submissions, go through all of your answers to my questions. You know, like there's a lot of setup involved. So that's really what that money is going towards. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of soft launch that to you guys. The hard launch will come when I make a whole video just about the membership. But y'all can join me while I figure this out. All right? So anyway, if you want your own, merch.JustAnotherFlutist.com to go and get your own. All right? And also, I did try, guys. I really tried to make these as like reasonable of a cost as possible. I believe I was actually able to lower the price from when I used to sell these through Spring. So I really tried, guys. I know that like some, you know, you'll look at the price and be like, oh yes, these are merchandise pricings. And it's really just because I have a middleman. So yeah. Okay, so let me take roll call. Say hi to y'all, okay? First to the lurkers, hello, how are you doing? Mel, Carolus, 1010, Out of Sight, Susie, Mixter, hello, so nice to have you here. Blue Moon, and Virkosen, Brianna, Jay Alexander, hello. Oh, Bon Flutist, yes, hi, how are you? Had a break during choir rehearsal. I hope you're enjoying choir rehearsal. And very close to no worries having to disappear to dinner. All good, guys. Life is, we get it, you know? We're just happy to catch you in this little corner, my little corner of the internet, all right? Okay, so with all that said and done, I think you guys can tell that mentally I am doing a lot better. I saw another doctor this morning. I had another appointment, and as you can tell from the fact that I am quite happy, it was good news. So I still can't tell you what's going on with me, but everything is a lot more hopeful. My prognosis is much better. And yeah, once everything is more or less resolved and we're figuring out what's happening, I can tell you guys. So I don't know if I'm going to do that in a video or just like an update stream. I'm finding that I really like doing these updates in the streams because it ends up grabbing the attention of the people who actually care about me, not people who are just curious for the sake of being nosy. Does that make sense? Like, I know that you guys actually care about me, and so I want you to know what's going on with me. So yeah, I've been diagnosed with being a real flute nerd. That's right. But yeah, so yeah, so mentally I'm doing a lot better. So I've actually already like worked out my schedule for the rest of this week. So you're going to see a lot more of me this week. I will do quite a few shorter streams. So yeah, today's stream is only going to be about an hour long. I'm finding that it's just way more doable to just do like an hour here and there. So yeah, I'm really like, you know, especially after, you know, this particular appointment and knowing that things are like my prognosis is a lot better than I thought it was. I'm feeling a lot more hope for myself, and like I feel like I can kind of go back to my life. Like I feel like I can start to go back to my life. And that's a great feeling. I'm sure that a lot of you guys who, you know, have gone through your own medical issues, that you know what it's like to sort of feel like you've been put on hold for months. And then, you know, like once you like can go back to your normal life, it is just the greatest feeling of relief. So, you know. Yes, Ethan, another late stream. How are you, Ethan? How is life? By the way, check it out. I do believe that I ship globally. That is, Fourth Wall ships globally. So, Ethan, if you wanted to, you know, check out my merch.JustAnotherFlutist.com, if you would like. Okay, let's do this. So, Mel, you get it. You finally had a therapy session where it wasn't that deep, and it was so nice to not have to work through something. You get it. That's what I'm talking about. Where like, you know, like you're going through so much stuff, and then finally you can be like, oh, I can go back to my life, you know? To like, in the parts of your life when it gets boring, like how Mel is saying, you don't have anything to work through. Oh, the boring parts of life are the best parts, guys. Okay? I know that people are like, oh yeah, I want to have like a really exciting life, and I really want to like, you know, do this, do that, do this. Let me tell you, an exciting life is way too dramatic. I don't like drama. I don't actually like excitement. I just want to be a boring flute nerd. That's it, okay? After a year, you're finally there. Oh, it must feel so good. Oh. Out of sight, you get it too. 1.25 years ago, you finally felt like you were going to be okay, both physically and mentally. See, you guys get it. There's just like, when you can finally go back to your life, it's like, oh. I mean, it's not that, like, especially when you're going through medical things, right? It's like, it's gonna change your life, okay? Like, your life has to change somehow, you know? You have to get used to a new routine. But that's the thing. As long as it's a routine, it's okay. It's when there's no routine and you're in limbo and you're like, you know what I mean? That's the worst. Susie, you're not there yet. You know what? We get it here. Hold on. We're holding on with you one day at a time. Okay? And honestly, that is legitimately what drives me to come here and stream for you guys, because I know what it's like to go on YouTube myself and look for content that is comforting, that gives me a sense of like, hey, I'm not alone, and life, I can still enjoy life even during the limbo. So we would love to, we're here for you. Where we will nerd out with you, you know, to just enjoy life even during the limbo times. Hey Sean, how are you? It's so nice to see you again. That's true. That's true, Ethan. Some people seek excitement when they're really craving purpose. I get it. I think it's because I do actually feel like I have found my purpose, and I crave the boring parts of life so that I can go back to doing my purpose, which is this, you know? Which I recognize I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky to feel like I have found my purpose. So, you know. All right, Varicose, no worries on the lurking. We're here to just accompany you. We will get started, guys. I have shuffled where my little, you know, the little me will be. As you can see, I'm little now. I am in the middle. I realized, guys, I had no idea. You know, last time I had my camera kind of off to the side as if you guys were watching over my shoulder. I realized that I could just angle my music stand so that you guys could see it as if you're looking at it, like me. So we have 2 more books, all right? Is that an alto flute? You guys are sick. That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay, so we have 2 more books that we didn't get to the last time we were nerding out with the books that Flute Center sent me. And they sent it to me in late 2025. I was supposed to go over these during like Christmas time, like maybe like November-ish, so that you guys could go shopping. But then I was too sick. I couldn't do it, but we ain't sick now. So we're gonna take a look at this. This is very exciting to me because I personally have a goal of mine is to collect method books. Oh, this makes me sound like a complete and utter nerd, okay? But I want to collect flute method books. I want to work through them, play through them. And this will provide me a couple of things. One is I want to sort of expand my teaching capabilities. So like I want to hear how other flutists phrase certain ideas to their students. Like what is their framework? How do they work through things? How do they explain things? And I want to have more ways of explaining the same thing. So that's kind of like for me, that's sort of like professional development. But the other thing is I just kind of like, I find that I learn a lot when I go through these method books, like even just in front of you guys. So one of the goals on the membership page, because, you know, like I don't want to go through every little bit of these books on here because it will completely inundate my my content, and it will kind of, it's going to offset the balance of the content in here. So if you guys want the deep dive and you want to follow me with deep dives, head on over to member.JustAnotherFlutist.com to sign up and watch me nerd. Currently, the deep dive over there is the Tafnell and Gobert 17 Big Daily Exercises. It has actually been cannot believe I'm saying this, but it legitimately has been a dream of mine to be able to say to myself that I have worked through the entirety of the Tafnel and Gobert 17 big daily exercises. I've actually only done number 4. And I think I did number 1 a long time ago. And then I have only done bits and pieces of a few of the other exercises, but I actually haven't tackled the entire book. And that is what I am doing. Deep dive on the Tafnel and Gobert complete method. Yes, that one I believe, isn't that one on IMSLP? I think it is on IMSLP. Like, that's the type of thing where, like, you see what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna do a deep dive, I want to go all the way. But if I do that here, it's gonna completely offset my content. And it's just gonna be a lot of me just practicing in front of the camera. So I was like, you know what? That is for my little nerd corner instead. So come on over to my little nerd corner, member.JustAnotherFlutist.com. It'll redirect you to the correct page. And follow me there. So I wanted to just slowly go through, like, cover to cover these like method books and just really nerdy stuff. So yeah. Oh, Mel, stay safe. But yeah, so we're gonna look at these 2 books today. So let's start with Flute 101. This one I have heard about for a very long time. And I have been curious about it. And the Flute Center has very generously sent me Flute 101. So let's give it a whirl. I'm just gonna see what's going on here. So a method for beginning flutists, for the beginning flutist with teaching and phrasing guides. Ooh, interesting. By Phyllis Avidin, Luke, and Patricia George. First off, the first thing I love is that it's spiral bound. So definitely very much designed for you to be able to just kind of lay it flat on your music stand. I love that. So let's see what's going on here. Simple suggestions to musical phrasing. Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow, these are very specific. So for example, like number 3 says chord tones continued after the first beat are played softer. So that's interesting because usually the way I would phrase it is, oh, you want to like very slightly emphasize the first beat of a bar. So you get that lilt going. But on the flip side of that, it does mean that chord tones played after the first beat are softer. See, you see what I mean? Like, this is a type of thing where I'm like, this is what I want to like kind of hear different ways of saying the same thing, which by the way, guys, let me make this a little bit brighter. I'm gonna see. Is that a bit brighter? Or let me try. Oops. Ah! Did I kill it? I think I killed it. Give me a second. We're going to give this a whirl. It's still dead. Did I kill it? Well, what if I deactivated it and then I activated it? There you go. Sorry, guys. I think what I'm gonna do now is just not really touch it. Let's see. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a glare on the really glossy pages. That's what I was trying to fix, but oh well. Okay. See number 11? Here, I'll show you guys like this. There, number 11. Generally start softer after taking a breath. These lovely, very specific tips. I love that. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Introduction. Parts of the flute. I love it. Great, with a nice diagram. Be sure to ask your teacher about taking the flute out and putting it back into the case. Putting the flute together and aligning the parts properly, caring for your instrument, proper hand position. All right, when it comes to caring for your instrument, right here, guys, I learned as a teacher that I had to give these lessons when my very first student, some of you will know the story, but my very first student came in one day and said, my baby brother took my flute and threw it in the sandbox. And then her mother washed the flute in the kitchen sink. Yeah. So if you're a teacher, getting a book like this is amazing. Hi, Miss Flutist. Yes, that happened. So, like, as a teacher, even if you haven't worked out of like certain method books, I highly recommend that you get them, because you get things like this that like remind you of like certain things you should teach your students. Like, I don't actually think that this is just a note just for students to ask their teacher. As a teacher, it's really good to read this kind of stuff and realize what you should teach your students about. Proper hand position. Let's see, how to practice. Practice is the repetition of a skill. See, I like to call it methodical repetition. So I am the type of person to kind of like give my students kind of like an example of like how to repeat things in a methodical way, so that you're not just kind of doing it without thinking about it. Because if you repeat things without thinking about it, you tend to only repeat certain parts and your brain completely skips over other parts. So you get very, very comfortable with like one part of a piece, but then not another part. So that type of thing. Plan to practice a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes daily. I love that. That's also what I tell my students. I love it initially, or whatever your teacher recommends. I love that. I love that. Practice in front of a mirror. I love it. Interesting. Say the note names 5 times. See, that's a thing that I would overlook, right? Because I've been playing the piano since I was 7. All right. And I've been playing the flute since I was 8, almost 9. So I have learned musical note names the way that you learn a language. It was like, to me, learning music was such an immersive experience that, like, nowadays to me, I would not think of like, oh, maybe my student needs to say the note names in their head 5 times before they start playing, right? Say note names in rhythm 5 times. See, I wouldn't think of that, again, because essentially music has become one of my like native languages, But like, this is the exact type of thing that you would do if you're learning a new language, Let's see. So say note names in rhythm while fingering the notes 5 times, and then play the song 5 times. Do you see how methodical this is? This is like, Do this 5 times, then do this 5 times, then do this 5 times, then do this 5 times. And then you're done. Put it down, walk away, you know? So yeah, like I personally would call this methodical repetition, right? This gives you a nice framework to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna focus on this, I'm gonna focus on this, and then I'm gonna focus on this. Wonderful. See, I have now learned something new about how to teach. It's wonderful. Yeah. Oh no, Sean, there was someone on Flute Zone whose mom gave the flute a bath. They ended up getting a new flute. Let's see. Oh, acknowledgements and then more about these lovely ladies. Okay. Fun with the head joint. Oh, I love this. This is great. So let's see. See, I didn't learn this. Let's see if I can make it focus up there. Can I make it focus up there? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, start each note as though you are spitting a grain of rice off your tongue. I learned that from you guys. So the reason this works is because when you spit a grain of rice off your tongue, you're actually using your air to launch it. There's no other way to do it. You cannot actually launch it with just your tongue. And so pretending like you're doing this can help especially beginner flutists actually use the airstream to get the note going rather than using their tongue. Because it's very easy to go right? Instead of which is using your airstream. Let's see. So keep embouchure hole parallel to the floor when doing these exercises. I love it. I think what I really like is that they're literal boxes. It's as if they've put in little like Post-it notes. I don't know, something about how they have done this makes at least someone who's like me, who's more visual, this works really well for someone like me. I find that when they're like full paragraphs right before trying to explain what you should do, my eyes just glaze right over. And I don't really like intake anything they're saying. So I think this is a very interesting like presentation. I like that they've bolded certain words and stuff like that to make it really scannable. That's really great. This is really great. This, by the way, I believe is like percussion notation, but this makes it so that you can just use your head joint and just kind of follow along with the rhythms. I think that's really great. Mary had a little lamb, guys. So good. I love it. So it looks like, yeah, they've given a little note here that says for fully open is at 0. Put the finger in a little bit for 1 and then a little farther for 2. So I will show you guys how that works. Here you go. There you go. So my favorite is that it's written out. I've never actually seen it written out before. I'm sure that there have been, you know, multiple places where it's been written out, but this is my first time seeing it written out. I love it. There's hot cross buns as well. It's really great. I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's see what more fun with head joints. Oh, they have pictures of actual little kids doing this. This is really cute. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, so you cover the end to do these octave leaps. So show you guys here. So let's do, for example, 3. Okay, while doing that, I'm like, what a great way to introduce the concept of changing something while reading rhythms, while reading changing notes. Because there's a lot going on there. That's pretty great. Okay. Interesting. So there's a teacher's part while the student does this. Okay. I think I need to do this. All right. We're not getting very far in this book, just so you guys know. We're absolutely not getting far in this book because I've never seen this type of thing before and I absolutely have to try it. Okay. So if I do, okay, I'm going to record myself. So, okay. I'm going to see if I can get this to be playing on you guys' end. Okay, here we go. It's a little bit of scuff is gonna happen right now, okay, while I try and make this work. Okay, now the idea is for that to just keep repeating. So, I need to see where to cut it off. Around there? Okay, this is really rough, guys. Okay, this is Snake Charmer. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna see, I think what I'm gonna do, I need to move my thing. So I'm gonna move my camera over here so you guys can follow along and see what I'm doing. I need to input this. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay. And then we need to open this up. Where did I put it? Where did it go? Oh, it went on the desktop. Okay, sounds good. I can do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna test to see how loud I am, and then I'll adjust the volume so that it can sound like I am doing this together. Let's see. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay. rough idea. I have a rough idea how loud I am. Okay, so if we now do this. Wait. Properties. We'll do, maybe this will be better if I do the headphones. Properties. Okay. We're making the magic happen, guys. Okay. So now I get to hear myself in one ear. Let's see if you guys can hear it. And then I'm gonna put it on repeat. Yeah. Nope, it is using the wrong. I think my computer is using the wrong. We don't want speakers. We want this guy. Okay. Well, we're eventually gonna make this work. Okay. I think it can be a bit louder. Okay. Okay, so there's a little pause, I think. There's a little pause, which means that it's not quite where we want it. I'm going to take out the pause at the beginning. And hopefully that sounds right. Snake charmer. Okay, we're going to try it again. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's close enough. Okay. I was just checking this. Okay. Let's see if I can make this work. So, essentially what it is you let the student do this line first. Okay, you guys see this? So you let the student do this line, and then you start when they get to the end, and then they just keep repeating. Okay, so basically I've recorded the student's part. So they're going. Dude, that actually works so well. Man, I wish I had this teaching. You know, this would have been so good teaching, like, my little 5-year-old student. I had a 5-year-old student back when I was in California. This would have been so good. Oh man, I love this. Okay. I spent a long time doing that, didn't I? I'm realizing, my God, I am not even, I haven't even gotten to lesson 1. See, this is what happens. Like, I really want to do a deep dive, and it is so hard to like force myself to like skip looking at things. But let's see. Showing how to like kind of first get used to holding the flute. I love that they're introducing one hand at a time. We got some duets here. This is, okay, I will say, just from like kind of glancing at all of this, this is a wonderful student teacher book. It's so wonderful for that. I think that if you are going to be practicing this on your own, like if you're an adult learner and you are like learning on your own, you're going to find that you're absolutely not going to reap all of the benefits, especially from what looks to be, at the very least, the beginning lessons. Like looking here, you guys can see, like even when I like kind of like do this, like you don't really get to all like the really solo stuff until like you're learning quite a bit more, right? And then even back here, you're still getting lots of duets and stuff like that. So I think that's great. So I would say that this seems to be like a very like lesson-based type of book. Oh, it is not. Camera is not having a grand time. Come on. You can do it. Camera. Oh. Oh, it is not having a grand time. Let's see if I can get it to. Yeah, that is very unfocused. No, that is not helping. Let me see what can make this, because it was just fine before and then it like doesn't want to focus at all. Come on. No? Okay. Can you focus now? What if I did this? Maybe it just doesn't like the sheet music. Yeah, I think it just doesn't like the sheet music. Okay. There we go. So, ooh, flute fingering chart. Excellent. Very, very good. I like that it only goes up to high G, because that's all you really need as a beginner. Yeah, that's great. It even has alternate fingerings. That's really good. Good. Okay. I would say that's probably good for me to, like, I have a rough idea of what this book is good for. And it is for like students and teachers in an in-person lesson together. This is so good for that. Good. Okay. Looking at the time, I don't actually have a ton of time to do this, but I'm gonna at least let myself play around a little bit. I really want to. So we have Mark Sparks' Resonance, warming up with great melodies. Ooh. So yeah, it looks like it's a bunch of excerpts. Oh. Hey, this is nice. Like if you don't know what to warm up with, and you just want nice tunes, this takes away the mental labor of trying to find them. Let's see, daily care of the tone can lead to a resonant and beautiful tone. Oh, lovely. Resonance is the quality in a sound as being deep, full, and reverberating. Ooh, I like the word reverberating. That is a great word. I am going to adopt that word with my students because it has this kind of like very live, boomy sort of implication, you know? I love it. I love it. Refers to Marcel Moïse. You know it. You gotta love it. Tone development through interpretation. I do have that book actually. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. So this is the book that he's referring to. I got this a long time ago, but yeah, it's, again, just a ton of excerpts, tunes for you to like play through. It's quite wonderful. So I would say though, this is quite overwhelming. There's a lot. There is a lot going on. This whole middle part is the piano accompaniment. I like that the insert is the piano accompaniment. Usually it's the other way around. But so that's what he's referring to, is that book. So use of this book. Let's see. Organize. Passages are transcribed from the original instrumentation and appear in the original key. Each melody is then transposed into the key of C and presented in several other keys in chromatically ascending order. Okay. Oh, that's great. I do find that you come across different issues as you change keys, because sometimes certain fingerings can give you pause. The other thing is that certain notes on the flute are kind of more covered in sound, like they don't have naturally as much openness to the sound. So it can be a real fun challenge to like keep those as open as the notes around it. You'll find that that's usually what you'll come up against when you do exercises and like this, melodies in a whole bunch of different keys. Like new problems arise with every new key that you practice it in. So very cool. Let's see. If you're inspired by beautiful melodies from the great classical repertoire, you will enjoy this book. There you go. Love it. Resonate, listen, appreciate, focus, create, explore your sound. He's really getting you. He's basically telling you to have fun. You know, record yourself. Recording yourself can lead to very rapid progress. Yep. I will add to what he's saying here that it does take vulnerability and courage to record yourself and listen to yourself, and it requires grace and acceptance and like embracing of yourself to be totally okay with yourself making mistakes. But let me tell you, it is wonderful. It's very self-healing to do this, but it does take a lot of vulnerability. So that's the only thing I would add. Make sure you don't spiral into sort of like a too critical spiral. All right. Yes, give yourself like things to improve on, figure out what can be improved and why. And if you want to watch me do that, head on over to member.JustAnotherFlutist.com to watch me practice, because that's exactly what I do. I will play and then I will think about what I want to change and why. I will experiment with it and then really kind of drill it into my fingers and into my body. But I do it in such a way that is not so heavily critical that it borders into self-abuse. You don't want to have that type of negative self-talk kind of overrun your practicing. So when you are being evaluating, make sure that it is edifying to your soul and to your mind, and that you're not just doing negative talk. All right. So no, I hate myself. No, I hate my sound, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. You don't want those types of judgment, words. You want to be like, why does it sound this way? What can I do to make it sound different? Let's try this. How did it make it sound different? Like, you want to be more objective, and that can really help you have fun. Milk isn't an option for favorite beverage. Hey, David, how are you doing? I was contemplating what other drinks there were, and milk has absolutely slipped my mind. So I will ask that in the future. Are you drinking milk right now? Hey, Steven, how are you doing? Okay. Oh, I need to drink some water. I've been talking way too much. See, there, like 1010 is saying, my sound doesn't have the core I want today. That is a wonderful way of putting it. A lot of us, myself included in the past, would say, oh, I just hate the way I sound. Oh, I sound awful. I sound ugly, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that, okay? It's fine if you're still kind of in that stage where you're like coaching yourself out of that kind of negative self-talk. Your first thought, you have no control over. Your second thought, you do. So if you catch yourself having the negative self-talk as the first thing that comes in, you want to stop, rephrase it, like how 1010 rephrased it here in the chat, and and then go from there. And if you do that often enough, it will become your new normal. You are drinking milk, David. Delightful. So paper image is a little dark. I know, Stephen. See, I tried it on this mode earlier, and then it wigged out and did not want to actually focus. But maybe if I keep my hand here, it will have something to focus on. Like, we'll do that, and then it can focus on my hand. Okay, so we just have lovely melodies to do. So we have Piano Concerto number 5, the Emperor Concerto. We have Symphony number 4, Beethoven. Yeah, see, so it's basically, it's these little themes that are in different keys. Love it. Symphonie Fantastique, Berlioz. Love it. Let's see, is there one that I really like in here? Brahms symphonies. Love it. Elegy, Fauré. Grieg Piano Concerto. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Kodai, Adagio. Oh. A Flute Concerto in D major, Mozart. Oh, I do love this tune. Okay, this one's kind of winning for me right now. Mozart Concerto for Flute, Harp, and Orchestra. I love this one too. I listened to this on repeat so much, I scratched up my CD. Night on Bald Mountain. Oh. Oh, okay. Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto number 2. Love it. Husband is making rice and the rice cooker is singing. Okay. Okay, okay. What's winning for me is this. This is it. I am seeing it goes down to low B though. So you know what we have to do? On that one, I will switch. I will switch over to my B foot joint just for that one. Okay. I'm curious how this is going to feel. All right, so we're gonna do this, starting with the original key. Interesting. So does he want me to do it as written or an octave higher? If the passage is playable in other octaves, it is indicated. Okay, what I find interesting is it has 15 MA. So he has 8 VA. I'm just gonna make sure that I understand 15, because 15 MA means 2 octaves higher. Is that right? Is that what, because I think that's what this little fine print means. But I'm just gonna double check really quick. 15 MA, 2 octaves higher. Is that what that means? Yeah. Yeah, 15 MA does mean 2 octaves higher. Yeah, okay, sweet. Excellent, excellent. Thank you for double checking with me. There we go. Okay. Well, I mean, I probably won't get through it all, but it might be fun to play it in every key or as many keys as I can fit in the next, I don't know, 15 minutes. Let's try this. Okay. All right. Do you know what this is reminding me of? So this is like when I play video game themes and I'm playing stuff that's being played by other instruments. Because this part is being played by the strings, for sure. I mean, it even says VL for violin. And you do actually play very differently when you know that you're imitating another instrument. And I think that is, it's such a great way to get your head out of just being a flutist, you know? Thank you, Miss Flutist. I appreciate it. But like, I highly recommend it. Like this is exactly how I feel when I'm playing all those tunes from Genshin, you know? Or one of the things that there's a tune that's sung. It's the song that it's from the Fontaine song, like from Fontaine. So the other one that I'm also thinking of is Expedition 33. I was doing kind of like a combo of like, there's a sung part, but then there's also a lovely cello part. So if you guys want a demonstration of like, let me do a quick demonstration of this like like how I would play it as a flutist versus how I hear it in my head, because I know that it's being played by a cellist and some violins too, I think. Like it's just like a string section, but a lot of this is played by a cellist, I think. So let's give this a go. So as a flutist, I would go. Okay, but now I'm going to play it as if I can, like, because I can hear the like violin cello version of this. Different, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. 100% is exactly what's happening here. I'm hearing the violins do it. Now, like if I was playing this just as a flutist, it would sound like this. It's too heavy. Because as flutists, when we're playing in this like lower register, we're always like, ah, make it beefy, you know? But this part is played by the violins and it is light, okay? So if in your head you're imitating how the violins play it, it forces you into a very different musical expression space, okay? So you end up playing it something like. Okay, it didn't have that last bit in there, but I kind of exaggerated it so that you guys could really hear it. But I love that he's not only taken flute parts. I think that's what I love, is that he's getting you to really explore different musical spaces and different musical timbres by getting you out of your flute head, you know? Thank you, Stephen. How other Sean in here? Congratulations! Yay! Oh, that must be, it must be such a relief for you. So come here and join us. Let us celebrate you and just let's be nerds. Hi, Michael. How are you? Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna now do this an octave higher. I've nerded out really hard just now. I hope you guys were enjoying the ride. But wow, in my head, I'm just like, this is amazing. So I think, guys, really pay attention to his markings of like who is playing, all right? He will tell you VL, violin, right? Flute, flute. You can be in your flute head, okay? So like VCL, violin, cello. So this is cello part. Okay. Oboe, another completely different timbre to play around with. This is like it's legit one of my favorite things about playing around with, like, you know, when I am playing around with like video game covers and stuff like that. It gets me to explore other timbres, and that can really just widen your tone color range. It can widen the meaning of what it means to sound really rich, because now you don't just have one way of sounding really rich, you have like 10, 15 different ways of sounding rich, you know, because when you dip yourself into these different timbres, oh, amazing. Okay, so we're now going to do this an octave higher, so that, because he said that you could, so we're going to try it and see what happens. Okay, so immediately the big challenge here was to make sure that my airstream is fast enough to get that A without it cracking. So if you want to do it while doing it soft, you got to jut your lip out a little bit so that your lips are closer to the opposite edge of the lip hole so that it catches a naturally faster airstream coming out of your mouth. So got to just make sure everything nice and forward. And like, I'm thinking more piccolo style playing, because as we learned last time, with the piccolo, you have to kind of get your, like a faster air going, light, faster air going than on the flute. But you can kind of apply that same concept when you're dealing with stuff like this. So that was the first challenge. The other thing was, I really remember now that this part here, this violin part here, has these three notes are super light, and then it's as if it's like a completely like this forte here is not a forceful forte. It's as if someone's poured like molten dark chocolate all over a white countertop. Like, think white marble, shiny, you know, tabletop, and like these little A's here is like, it's like if you like dusted little bits of powdered sugar, boom, 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 and then like really like pour out that molten chocolate. Like, if you're into imagery, that's the type of imagery that like you could, for example, come up with when you're playing this. Basically, to me, it sounds like a completely different voice has come in with this second bar. So I'm gonna like make that better now. So from what I remember, it's like the first bar and the third bar are one voice, and then the second bar and the fourth bar are a different voice. And then it kind of like continues with that second voice. That's what it sounds like to me. So I'm gonna do it again for you guys to hear. Okay, I just wanted to point out something that I really love about this type of music are these false endings. So it's kind of like false endings, and then kind of like they drag it out and then they do another false ending. Okay, so here on the second line, this bit here where it suddenly comes down is actually kind of like you thought we ended and then we didn't. Because I think, ideally, because it's a G, your brain wants it to go to F. Because F is the root note. It is the tonic of this key. So we want it to go. We want that, and we are going to deny it. So that's why there's that sudden drop, because we're denying the resolution and we're like, aha! Okay, so. And then we think it has ended because we finally reached the F. But what we're going to do is we're going to go, oh, and so we are basically stretching it up an octave, cheekily, coming back down, and then doing the real ending. Okay, so I'm going to do it all together so you guys can really hear that we are denying the ending several times, right? Here we go. And then that final ending feels so much more satisfying as a result. Yes. Now, what's interesting is that I heard that aspect way more in this top octave. In fact, everything that I just talked about, like in terms of like the two different voices and stuff like that, I definitely heard it better in the second octave. So that's what I was saying, that like different things come up depending on like which octave, which key you're playing it in. So now I am curious. Now I actually want to go back to the original octave and play it with the same thing that I learned from playing it an octave higher. So we're going to go back to the original key. Oh, overdoing it, because my C foot joint can't take it. So we're gonna keep that in mind. I think that was better. Can I make it even better? Absolutely. And that's what I would do if I was actually legitimately practicing this. Like, so I feel like when we buy these types of books, it's not always immediately apparent why we do it in all these different keys, why we do it in different octaves, why are we playing things that other instruments play. And it's really because it gets it out. It gets you out of your flute only head. And you can actually dive into other dynamics, color, timbre. You know, you can really kind of like stretch out your ability of like how you can sound on the flute. You're able to sound like Steven said, just another piano, guitar, clarinet, flute, sing, but can't do any of them properly. So, Sean, this is Mark Sparks' Resonance, warming up with great melodies. And I'm just kind of demonstrating how I would work out of one of these melodies and like why it, like what makes it so special. So, I think I should call it there. My understanding of this book is that essentially he's doing this idea, what I just talked about, with all of these different tunes. And I think that is wonderful. Really gets you out of your flute only kind of like mindset. And it's so good for you. So yeah, if you guys are within the States, you can get a 10% off your entire order using my code JAF with the Flute Center. Flute Center, thank you so much for sending these amazing books. I would love to actually go through these method books over on my membership, but you guys basically here are seeing my initial reaction, my kind of slight, you could almost call it a review of the book, but it's more of like an overview of the book, if that makes sense. This is so cool. This dips right into like why I very often will be playing like video game covers and movie themes and stuff like that, because those like exercises that I do on those tunes is exactly what is being demonstrated here in this book. So anyway, that was fun. While I clean up, how are you guys? I know that a bunch of you came in during the stream, and I was yapping. So I just wanted to catch up with anyone who has, come in partway through. I'm just going to catch up with the chat as well. So Noelle, your kiddos would always request nights on Bald Mountain when they were little. Nothing funnier than watching toddlers rock out to classical music in their car seats or dancing around their room. Is it the scary part that they want? Ba, 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 ba. I grew up with that, listening to that via Fantasia, Disney's Fantasia. So it was always like, I had a weird relationship with it because I was always like really scared. Like the animation was actually really scary for a kid. But I loved the music. I always thought it sounded so cool. Wonderful. So, Stephen, you don't have to rewind to get the titles. Go to the description below. The video description this time, because I was only looking at 2 of the books. Before I started the stream, I actually found the link for you guys. So the link is in the description below for the 2 books that I looked at today, and you can use my code JAF for 10% off your order. And that does, just putting it out there, that does help me out. I do get a small commission from it. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. So have I worked on the Gilbert Technical Flexibility book? Do I have that one? I do have that one, this one, right? I worked out of it a little bit when I was in university. And then I worked out of it a little bit again. One time I just had this flight of fancy and decided that I wanted to take a look at it during one practice session. And then I didn't look at it again. So yeah, this is on my list of, method books to work through. Yeah, my ideal is really so that it's more so professional development than anything. Like it's not just for me to work out of it, but I'm constantly thinking about you guys, and thinking about my students. And I'm sort of like building a library in my head of like what method books are good for what type of person. Kind of like, this is sort of an extension of my flute reviews, where like, I know that every method book matches certain type of people, you know? And I'm like, you know, I want to know I want to know in my own head, which method books match which type of student. Like if you tend to be very like imaginative, very visual, you're very like imagery driven, you know? There are certain books that are really good for that, and there are also certain teachers that are also very good for that. But if you're very like pragmatic, you're very like, you just want to know how it works, and you want just like someone to just tell you this is what you do and this is why, and like, you know, all that stuff, then like I want to know if there's a book out there that teaches more in that manner, right? So like, for example, today we found out that Flute 101, this book, Flute 101, Mastering the Basics, this one is very good for in-person lessons. And in fact, I wish that I had this book when I was teaching especially my younger students. So, you know, it's stuff like that where I'm just kind of like, I want to have this library in my head where I know what book is good for who. And then, you know, obviously I want to share that with you guys too. Like I want to have like make some videos where I'm like, okay, if you're this type of person, look into these types of books, you know? But I kind of have to work through the books first myself to know. So, have I ever tried playing Grand Russian Fantasia? I don't think so. Oh. I'm looking to see if there's like a sheet music for flute. There is like a sheet music, like an arrangement for the flute. Is it an arrangement or is it? No, it's not an arrangement because I am seeing, is it an arrangement? What is it? Oh my gosh, In the Hall of the Mountain King. That is such a good one. My favorite memory was when we were playing an arrangement of that for Wind Quintet. And the first time we did it, there was just I don't know why. Why is it funny? It's funny. Like our French horn is like, and we just immediately started laughing. Like our first rehearsal, we just like could not stop the giggles. But no, I have not done Grand Russian Fantasia. And I would love to take a look at that someday. Yeah. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. All right. Ooh, Ethan. You're about to get a new tool for shaping your flute bores. Ooh. So it's going to let you make your flute boards even better. And a second part, coming a little later, will let you make much bigger flutes. Oh, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Passion Flute made these gorgeous flutes. And because I am the type of gremlin that apparently does not put away their flutes, I literally have it right next to me. So Passion Flute here in the chat made this. and several other flutes that I have here too. And so that is what he's talking about. Then you're getting a new tool. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is great. Okay. It is, right? In the Hollow Mountain King is just never not funny. Like, it's just, I don't know. Why is it funny? It sounds funny to me. Excuse me. And apparently funny to the rest of my wind quintet too. I don't know. I think it's because like you hear it your whole life, you know? And then when you go to actually play it yourself, there's something hilarious about it. Like about being the one to make the funny sound, you know? Okay, guys, I have finished cleaning up. And I better go because rice is about to be done. And I need to go cook up some side vegetables to go with dinner. That, I already claimed that to be my job for dinner. John made rice. We've already got protein. So so I need to get my part of dinner going. So I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you so much for joining today and for nerding out with me. Again, if you want to, so a few things. If you guys want to get these books for yourself, discount code JAF for 10% off. The link to both books are in the description below. If you want to get my merch, I am soft launching it officially, merch.JustAnotherFlutist.com. All right. Very high quality. I have to say this has already gone through the wash several times, albeit not through the dryer. Okay. And if you want to see me do my deep dives, nerdy deep dives, member.JustAnotherFlutist.com. All right. So I love y'all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. I'm so glad to be back, both physically and mentally. This feels so good. And I'll let you guys know why my life has been crazy later. All right. Take care of yourself because there's no music without the musician. All right. Or do your best to. Okay. I know that sometimes life just does its own thing, but do your part to do what you need for yourself. Do not neglect yourself. All right. Laters, guys. Bye.